Hey guys, Sophia here with Turquoise Toffee and I'm back with another video. Today we're talking about the 2024 IFBB Pro League Musclecontest Campinas Pro Bikini results. These girls looked amazing. It was a super small show, but everybody was awesome. And I did my best to find photos, but there weren't that many online, so bear with me. Okay, so in terms of Olympia, the top three from last year's Olympia get to go, and then the winner of each contest in the qualification period also gets to go. They're not giving points anymore. There's no more of a tiered system. It's just the winner at the end of the day. So the stakes are very, very high. So looking at the scorecard, all five ladies in the top five. In first place, Luciana. Second, Maria Alexandra. Third, Anna Carolina. Fourth, Raphaela. And fifth, Karina. And looking closely at the total points, you can see the judges were very confident and in agreement with their scores. Very even across the board for each girl. Okay, so beginning in fifth place with Karina, she looks gorgeous. The first thing I noticed was the red lipstick and the suit. It looks beautiful. Great choice for her. I think she's got a lot of beautiful size in her shoulders. The delts are nice and round, really beautiful curves. Her glutes look amazing, great curvy shape and nice size as well. And she's got a lot of curve in her hamstrings. So it was just like curves everywhere. Beautiful legs, beautiful glutes, nice small waist curving in the back to the beautiful curved shoulders. Conditioning, I thought looked really nice in her lower body. I think she's got this good groove in her hip, nice line, a little bit of detail coming through in the back leg, but not too much. Great calves. Her midsection looks really good. The obliques are super defined, a good flatness in her stomach without having too many of those six-pack muscles showing through. However, I do think she has to be pretty careful with like striations in the delts here. You don't want to be too hard looking in bikini. So I think a little tiny bit more fullness, even, okay, I don't know if this is humanly possible, but even if she could have the shoulders a little softer while keeping the lines and the lower body the way they are, that would be amazing. But I don't know if it works that way. Overall, I thought she did look really good. Nice curves, nice size. I do think she could pose a little bit bigger with her upper body. Try to get the delt to line up a little bit more with the edge of the glute. Cut, like really pump up the chest, get the lats out, get the shoulders a little bit wider, whether that's just a bit more of a twist, I'm not sure, but just to try to get your eye to see the hourglass shape a little bit clearer. But still, I think she looks really good. Love the red. Her skin tone looks beautiful. She's gorgeous. Next and fourth is Raphaela. Beautiful legs. Oh my gosh, she's got a lot of size. She's got some great curves. She's clearly not quite in the pose here, but this is the only picture I could find of the stage. You can see she's got amazing detail, the definition around her quad, like the whole muscle is outlined. That's crazy. She also has a really nice round shape in her glute, great abs, that little bit of detail coming through in the six-pack, nice, a softer look to the oblique, but still a clear line. The blue suit is beautiful. She's the only girl in blue. It stands out, looks stunning with her hair. A couple things though. I think the earrings are beautiful. They're very eye-catching, but they're too wide. I think it should be a narrower shape just to kind of flow more with her hair and not have so much width in the neck area. And the other thing is I think she could have had a little bit more color with her lip. There's beautiful eyeshadow clearly. You can see that brightness to the inside of the eye, but the lip to me looks quite nude. So I would have just done a little bit more color. And as for her upper body, I don't think it's quite a match to the size and curves of her lower body. So again, I know she's not quite in her pose, so that's a bit unfair of me to say when she's not really posing the upper body. But you can see there's not as much of that roundness and fullness in the delts as there is in the glutes. So I think if she could just get a little bit more size, a little bit more of that big, easy to see curvature up top in both arms, I think that would be a really good look to balance out with her beautiful lower body. She's got a lot of muscle, a lot of size, and great definition. Unreal. So overall, I thought she looked really good. Okay, next and third is Anna Carolina. So this is more of that exaggerated hourglass shape. It's beautiful. She looks really well posed. So the delts are in a great balance, really well lined up with the glute. So your eye is just seeing symmetry and balance. Really nice overall shape. I think she's doing a great job here. The curves in the delts look perfect. There's no striations. They're not too lean. She's got a nice bit of outlining. The back arm, I think she could play with the placement of this hand. Try rotating the wrist. Try playing around with the elbow just to make this back delt not so straight. It's almost flattening out in comparison to this beautiful curve that we're seeing on this arm. But I'm loving the triangular shape she gets with her lats coming down into the waistline, very nice and small, good oblique detail, no six-pack definition, but a good flat stomach. I think that's perfect. Beautiful size to her glutes and nice conditioning. I really like this line right here where we get to see the hamstring. I do think she needs more size though in her legs. Like a bit more of that roundness to the top here would be really good and more curve to the hamstring. Perhaps playing with the placement of this foot could help if the feet weren't so close together. That might push a little bit more of the quad roundness, right? If her foot was a little bit out, I don't know. But I do think, particularly compared to the other girls, she's got a little bit more straightness in the legs, and I want to see a bit more of the curve. But overall, beautiful shape, and I love her suit. It looks super pink in this photo, but then in the lineup photo, you can see that there's more of a little bit more colors coming through from different angles of the lighting. So I love that. It's a very interesting, beautiful suit. Her makeup looks lovely, but I think her upper body posing is stellar, really beautiful. Okay, next in second place, Maria Alexandra. Wow, okay, beautiful lower body. Her legs are amazing. Great sweep of the quads. Gorgeous hamstrings. She's got a lot more size than the ladies we've seen so far. And she seems to me like she's quite tall also. So just some gorgeous muscle density in the legs, great curves, great size, beautiful balance between the amount of muscle in her leg and the amount of muscle in her glute. I also love this detail coming around here, really outlining the side in her hip. She's got some nice lines coming down her leg, but not too much, right? So you've got a bit of detail, a bit of those lines coming through, but she's not overly hard, except, once again, I'm noticing striations in the shoulder. So just to be careful, right? You have to still have that fullness and softness for bikini, and that's going a bit lean, in my opinion. But I do love the size in her shoulders. I think she's got a beautiful amount, nice curves, great hourglass. I do think two things. Her hand down here is a bit low. I would raise this up closer to the belly button. I think that might pop the curve of the shoulder a little bit more on this back arm. And then in the front, I do almost feel like she's crunching, like there's this little bit of wrinkling in her skin. It's almost as if this arm is pulling her down rather than pulling her up. Now, it could be the angle of the photographer. It could just be where we are in terms of where she's angling her body towards the judges. But I do think that we're not getting the greatest look at her upper body. I think she could pull up the chest, straighten the skin here, really kind of pull everything more up, and then have a little bit more of that fullness in the upper body to draw your eye around her silhouette. But I love the red. I love the red lipstick. From the front, her hair looks beautiful. I'm not so crazy about it in the back. I'll show you in a second. But overall, I'm super impressed by the size, the curves. I think she looks amazing. Great abs, tiny waist, really beautiful. And now in first place, Luciana, another beauty in red with gorgeous red lipstick. It's so good. I like the shade of her red. It's very flattering to her dark skin, her dark hair, her dark eyes. It looks beautiful. So she's doing a lot of things right for me. Number one, her posing is great. Really good look at that silhouette. You see the hourglass shape beautifully. Her shoulders are up. You're seeing a nice amount of that triangular shape with her tiny waist. I also think she's doing a really good job in the lower body. So delicate like a cloud on this toe. Like, oh my gosh, really high arched. And it's doing a great job of showing off her calf, the curve to her quad. You see a lot of space between her legs, so you get to see that full hamstring of the back leg. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. The other thing she's doing a great job of is the conditioning. No striations, no harsh lines, no crazy detail, but a lot of gorgeous outlining. You've got this groove in the hip. You've got this curve here in the quad. You've got great obliques, a little tiny bit of ab definition in the middle of her stomach. Nice lines in the arms without it being overly striated. The shoulders look good. So she kind of just nailed everything. Her earrings are very flattering. They're in that nice triangular shape to kind of match the whole vibe of her posing. Beautiful. I do think she could also play around a little bit with the posing in this arm just so that we don't have a flattening of the shoulder in the back. But overall, I think she really did a good job. She nailed it. Her skin looks buttery and smooth. She looks so easygoing and light and airy and great curves. So top to bottom, gorgeous. Okay, so this is a really funny angle for a front pose. Stage shot, I usually like to have it right straight on from the center, but it does give you a nice idea of the different sizes of the girls side by side. So a few things that I noticed right off the bat: Raphaela has some big legs, nice size in that lower body, beautiful quads, a lot of calf muscle, just some great lower body size. But I don't think the upper body is quite there to match, even though I know this is a bad angle for her where we're looking in this photo. I'm still not seeing that hourglassy shape so much as a straightness more in the upper body. So I do think she could have a bit more size up in her shoulders. Maria Alexandra, amazing glute shape. Holy smokes, what a good, exaggerated, crazy curve. Nice detail coming through on the leg. But when we compare her definition to Luciana beside her, maybe it was a conditioning thing where she had just a little bit too much of that hardness compared to Luciana. I think Luciana does a really good job of having that gorgeous shape. She's got the width in her collarbone, right? The shoulders are big, coming into this lat, and then a nice tiny waist with the big glute, but you're not seeing as much of that crazy detail into the legs, into the shoulders. So a tiny bit softer of a look than our second place winner. But I think on her, you see what I meant about her toes, really soft, really arched, a good space to let you see this hamstring. Beautiful. But even in this photo, I think you could see she could have a little bit more shoulder compared to Maria. Now in third place, Anna Carolina, there's that gorgeous suit, right? You can see a little bit more, almost like a blue color coming through. So pretty. I think she looks beautiful. Her tan could maybe be a bit darker compared to the other girls. And this is where I think you could notice that she could have a bit more size in the legs, a bit more curve to the hamstring, a bit more roundness to the top of the quad, but great arms, beautiful overall look. And then in fifth place, Karina, again, I think the two girls don't get the greatest angle in this photo. The two girls on the end, I mean. But she looks a little bit more straight up and down. I'd love to see a bit more of that crazy hourglassy shape with the delts being a little bit twisted out more, but you can see she's got great shape in the delts, really nice curves to the hamstring, awesome, and beautiful lines down the leg. So overall, everybody looked gorgeous. I couldn't find very many back poses. I got a couple pictures of Luciana, one with Luciana next to Maria, and then Karina in fifth. And actually, I think Karina got the hair the best. I like that it's short enough to see her waist, and it's narrow enough to see her delts. I think Maria Alexandra has way too much width, and the hair is covering up her upper body too much. We get a nice view of her tiny waistline, but I'm completely losing the shape of her delts, and I'm not able to see her hourglass in the back. Luciana, I get to see her beautiful delts, but I think there's too much of that curtain covering her waist. I would have done a little bit more of a V or even a U shape into the back of her hair, maybe a little bit shorter, just so that we can see her beautiful lower back. And in terms of the posing, I think Luciana's doing a bit of a better job making her lower body curvy, whereas Maria Alexandra is standing really straight, and it's not being quite as balanced of a look. I think Luciana's calves help to balance out her lower leg, and you're just noticing more curve from behind than on Maria. They both have beautiful glutes, great tie-ins, nice definition coming into the hamstrings, but I think Luciana does a little bit better of a job, partially because of the hair and the delts showing, to show off a bit more curve. So, in terms of Olympia, she would be added to the list. And there are more shows coming up to finish off March, so stay tuned for those recaps. Give me a like if you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe, comment your thoughts below, and come find me. I'm on Instagram at Turquoise Toffee.